Have you ever held back from sharing your true feelings with your partner because you were afraid of how they might react? Or perhaps you've been hesitant to show your emotional side, worried it might make you seem weak or overly sensitive. Vulnerability is one of the most powerful yet misunderstood aspects of any relationship. While many people see it as a sign of weakness, the truth is, vulnerability is the key to building deep emotional connections and creating a strong, trusting relationship. Being vulnerable means letting down your guard and allowing your partner to see you as you truly are, flaws, fears, insecurities, and all. It's about opening up and sharing your inner world, knowing there's a chance you might get hurt, but doing it anyway, because that's what intimacy requires. But why is it so hard to be vulnerable, and how can we learn to embrace it in our relationships? Today, we're going to explore the power of vulnerability in relationships. Why it's essential, how to practice it, and how it can lead to deeper emotional intimacy. By learning to embrace vulnerability, you can strengthen your bond with your partner and create a relationship that's based on trust, authenticity, and emotional depth. Let's start by understanding what vulnerability really means in the context of a relationship. Vulnerability is the willingness to be open and honest with your partner about your thoughts, feelings, and fears, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about being real and authentic, rather than trying to present a perfect version of yourself. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you give your partner the opportunity to truly know and understand you, which fosters deeper emotional intimacy. However, many of us struggle with vulnerability because we fear rejection, judgment, or being seen as weak. We put up emotional walls to protect ourselves, thinking that if we don't let anyone get too close, we won't get hurt. While this might keep us safe in the short term, it also prevents us from experiencing the deep connection and emotional fulfillment that comes from being fully known and loved by our partner. A colleague was telling me about her relationship struggles. She had a hard time opening up to her partner about her past, especially some painful experiences she had been through. She was afraid that if she shared these parts of herself, he would see her differently or think she was too broken to be with. So, she kept those emotions bottled up, trying to maintain the image of someone who had it all together. Over time, however, this emotional distance started to take a toll on their relationship. Her partner sensed that something was off, and the lack of vulnerability created a barrier between them. This discussion made me realize how powerful vulnerability can be in deepening connection. By holding back, we not only deny our partner the chance to fully know us, but we also rob ourselves of the opportunity to experience true intimacy. Vulnerability isn't about being perfect, it's about being real. Think about it. Have you ever hesitated to share your feelings with your partner because you were afraid of how they'd react? Or have you found yourself putting up emotional walls to protect yourself from potential pain? These experiences are common and highlight the importance of vulnerability in building a healthy, strong relationship. One of the key aspects of vulnerability is trust. To be vulnerable, you need to trust that your partner will handle your feelings with care and compassion. But trust and vulnerability go hand in hand. You can't build trust without first being vulnerable. The more you allow yourself to open up, the more trust you build in the relationship, creating a positive cycle of emotional connection. So, how can you embrace vulnerability in your relationship? Here are some practical steps. Start small. If being vulnerable feels intimidating, start with small steps. You don't have to share your deepest fears right away. Begin by expressing your feelings about everyday things, like how your day went, what you're excited about, or something that's been bothering you. As you build trust and confidence in each other, you can gradually open up about more personal and sensitive topics. Be honest about your feelings. Vulnerability is all about being honest with yourself and your partner. When something is bothering you, don't push it down or pretend everything is fine. Instead, share your feelings openly, even if it feels uncomfortable. For example, instead of saying "I'm fine" when you're really upset, try saying, "I'm feeling hurt because of what happened earlier, and I'd like to talk about it." Express your needs. Many people struggle with vulnerability when it comes to expressing their emotional needs. We often fear that asking for support will make us seem needy or dependent. But expressing your needs is a healthy part of any relationship. If you need more affection, reassurance, or time together, communicate that to your partner. Vulnerability in asking for what you need can lead to a stronger emotional bond. Share your fears and insecurities. We all have fears and insecurities, whether they're about the relationship or about ourselves. Sharing these vulnerabilities with your partner can bring you closer, as it shows them that you trust them enough to be open about the things that scare you. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but this level of honesty helps build trust and emotional intimacy. Listen without judgment. Vulnerability isn't just about sharing your own feelings. It's also about creating a space where your partner feels safe to be vulnerable with you. When they open up, listen with empathy and without judgment. Validate their feelings and avoid offering solutions unless they ask for advice. Simply being present and supportive can make a world of difference. Accept that vulnerability means risk. Part of being vulnerable is accepting that there's always a risk of getting hurt. But without risk, there can't be deep connection. Understand that vulnerability doesn't guarantee that everything will always go smoothly, but it's necessary for true intimacy. Trust that your partner values you for who you are, flaws and all. Embrace imperfection. Vulnerability isn't about presenting yourself as perfect. It's about embracing your imperfections and being honest about your struggles. When you show your true self, you give your partner permission to do the same. This mutual acceptance of imperfection helps create a deeper, more authentic connection. Be patient with yourself and your partner. Vulnerability takes time, especially if you've been hurt in the past, or if it's something you're not used to. Be patient with yourself as you practice opening up, and be patient with your partner as they navigate their own vulnerability. It's a journey that requires time, trust, and mutual support. At the end of the day, vulnerability is the foundation of emotional intimacy in relationships. It's what allows you to truly connect with your partner on a deeper level, building trust, empathy, and understanding. By embracing vulnerability, you can create a relationship that's authentic, compassionate, and resilient. Remember, being vulnerable doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. And in a healthy relationship, your partner will love and appreciate you even more for being real and open. So, don't be afraid to take down those walls and let your true self shine. If this information helped you in your situation, please subscribe and feel free to leave a comment.